Welcome back, everybody, to The Landing. Joined with me, as always, is Fisher. I'm Tristan, and the Rams have won the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, it was
Ridiculous.
a great game. Holy crap! I knew it was gonna be close. I mean,
Mhm.
holy smokes! That what if? And I don't know if you know this, Tristan, but I read somewhere that Super Bowl 56, right? Super Bowl 56. That was the most watched television program in the last 5 years.
Really?
Yeah, and that I thought that was really interesting, and because I was talking about that with my parents because we were kind of brainstorming why that was the case, and what was interesting is my dad brought, or no, my dad actually didn't bring up this point. It was actually a point I brought up where I wonder the reason why for that being is I wonder if it has to do with like the pandemic and how more people are actually staying at their own home watching it instead of like going to Super Bowl parties. I wonder if that was the case. I don't know,
I feel like
but
that would have been more the case last year because it was a lot.
see
The
that
pandemic was a lot
that's what
more
I was
restricted.
thinking too. But streaming services have become a big thing. So most people, I feel like, just go on Netflix or Amazon Prime and watch whatever rather than having like I don't know, watch sports. I don't know. That
Yeah,
could be it too. But I don't know. I thought it was interesting how that was the most watched program.
yeah, yeah, and it was a bummer seeing Odell get hurt, at least for him. But I
Oh
mean, he
yeah.
had a big role in the game, like at the beginning. He
Oh
scored the
yeah.
first touchdown and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's that was the one thing. I mean, I'm mostly happy for Matt Stafford. That's the one person I can at least cheer on.
Oh
And I mean,
yeah.
when you look at the team, like when it was like whenever Von Miller joined, like towards the end of the season last year, right before the trade deadline, they got Von Miller, they have Jalen Ramsey, Odell, Matthew Stafford, like all those, they got all these players from different teams, and obviously they're all there to build like a super team and go to and win a ring.
Mm-hmm.
And Von Miller already had one; he was MVP in Super Bowl 50. But even then, all those players, I mean, like it's cool seeing all of them get a ring. Like I'm trying to look at the bright side here, but let's be real, we all wanted the Bengals to win,
Yeah. Everyone
and
wanted to.
I don't get why the fuck they gave the ball to what's it, Samaje Perine, I think that's his name.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
so.
yeah, on 3rd and 1. Like, I don't get why they don't have Joe Mixon out there. Like there's a minute and a half or however much time's left in the game in the Super Bowl, and you need to score. You got to have your best players out there. Like I don't think he was hurt. I mean, I didn't see any reports about
No.
Joe Mixon being hurt. I don't get why they didn't have him out there.
Yeah, it's like why didn't we give the ball to Marshawn Lynch? When the game was on. No.
Oh man. Do you
um,
remember where you were? Like, do you remember like exactly where you were whenever Malcolm Butler made that interception?
yeah, yes, I was at my house. My family and I, me, my brother, my dad, I guess my mom too. Yeah, we were all in our living room watching it, and we were like on our feet, like yelling and shit. And and my God, like, and it's funny too because I think you brought this. I think you said this. You thought the same thing when it was first picked off. It looked like he actually caught it. Like it was actually a
Looked like a
touchdown.
touchdown at first, yeah.
I at first, and I was like freaking out. I was like, no, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, no fucking
And the
way.
ball didn't hit the ground.
And you can't imagine my disappointment when realized it
Dude,
was intercepted. I'm like,
a
oh my God.
100-0. Like it hurt. So I was at an ex-girlfriend's house at the time, and we were watching it. We were all watching it together, and I remember seeing Jermaine Kearse make that bobbled catch, and
Hmm.
I saw that, and I was like, "No fucking way that just happened. We're gonna win this game. We're
I
gonna win
know,
this game.
right?
Holy shit! Holy shit!"
Uh-huh.
And then whenever Marshawn got that handoff that got them to the 1 yard line, Dante Hightower, like I think it was against Russell Okung, or it was against one of our linemen. He just totally benched him off of it and then tackled Marshawn. Like it was a crazy play by Dante Hightower. He pretty much saved the Super Bowl at that time because I mean Marshawn Lynch had a wide open gap to the end zone.
Hmm.
And then yeah, then we get to the one, and I don't disagree with a passing play right there.
No, I don't
Everybody
either.
shits
I
on
don't
it
either.
just because, and I don't get why you throw it to Ricardo Lockett. He's not even your number one receiver, but it's a storybook ending if he catches it because like, oh, Russell Wilson wins the Super Bowl. Ricardo Lockett, who's a former track star, goes to the NFL, wins the Super Bowl, gets another ring, and in
Hmm.
Seattle, they're in dynasty talk.
Yeah,
Like, like
dynasty.
yeah, yeah, and then like I didn't, and everyone thought they were going to run the ball. So,
Hmm.
and the defense, they were prepared for them to run the ball. And
Right.
I don't disagree with the pass. I don't agree with the play call, but I don't disagree with passing the ball. They could have all passed it on 3rd down because they still had a timeout. But yeah, like I don't disagree with passing the ball there. It sucks.
It is what it is.
The outcome is what sucks.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah,
yeah, I'm the
it's
same. I'm
just
the same way. I actually agree that I did not think the play call was bad. I know. I think it would have been more epic if we did run the ball, and of course we actually got the
mhm.
touchdown. That would have been awesome. But I don't disagree with the play call because if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't fourth down, right? It was second down.
Second and
Yeah,
goal.
it
Yeah.
was only second down, and so if they want to like change it up a bit, whatever, go for it. I guess try and become unpredictable. So yeah, I really don't think it was a terrible idea for them to do that. But yeah, that is definitely going to be the biggest permanent scar on Seattle fans.
It still hurts. I had
It
friends that didn't
really
go to
does.
school the next day.
Yeah, I remember the next day at school, like, I don't think there was actually a vibe in the school that everybody was upset, but for me, I had that vibe.
Mhm.
And I was just like, oh my God, this is like the most depressing day of school I've ever been to.
Whenever I see a highlight of that interception, every time I watch it in the back of my head, I'm like, oh, you know what? Maybe it was all just a bad dream, and he actually catches it. And then
Hmm.
I, that traumatic play plays in my head, and I just get flashbacks of that pain. It hurts so fucking bad
You know what's
because that
even
was
what kind of like rubs the wound even worse is the prior year they won the Super Bowl. They beat the Broncos. They kicked their ass. And I like
mm,
to bring up the statistic because I think it's amazing. The Seattle Seahawks hold the fastest score in Super Bowl history.
12 seconds. Yeah, they scored in the first 12 seconds of the first half, and they scored in the first 12 seconds of the second half. And Russell Wilson had 206 passing yards, and that's Seattle's area code.
Wow, I didn't realize it was get that in depth, but
Yeah, no, it was crazy. Like that's the thing. Honestly, that Super Bowl makes me feel better about losing the next one because that's Seattle's one and only Super Bowl ring ever.
mhm.
It's just cool that we kind of got that gorilla off our back. We finally won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and of course it was their second appearance ever in a Super Bowl, and so that was pretty exciting. And of course and I think was that the biggest blowout in Super Bowl history too. So I
Uh,
think,
no, whenever Joe Montana was with the Niners, they beat the Dolphins 55 to 10.
oh yeah,
Or maybe it was the Broncos. Like they beat the Broncos 55 to 10.
Well, okay. Well,
Yeah,
for some
but
reason
still, yeah,
but
wow.
it was still basically a blowout. I mean, and of course, like, uh, I guess I just like at the time I didn't realize like how much better Seattle was compared to Denver Broncos because they don't play them during the regular season. The only time they'll
Yeah,
ever be able to
and
play them would be in the Super Bowl.
yeah,
Um,
but I mean the Broncos had a historically good offense.
Yeah, exactly. And
Peyton Manning was
hey,
insane that year. He'd throw 7 touchdowns in a game
but
like it was nothing.
obviously, Seattle proves that defense definitely wins championships because I don't think there's been a better defense than what Seattle had that season, like
Yeah, that
in the
defense
NFL
was
history
scary.
maybe because the Legion of Boom, man. Oh my gosh, it would be so. Oh man, I wish we could have that back in Seattle.
Me too. That was the thing
Crazy.
that was what was bad about the 2015 season. So the season after we lost the Super Bowl, we had a lot of the same players on the defense, and the team was just not the same.
Right.
Yeah,
Eh,
like there were so many games that year that we'd have a lead, like what you would think would be a comfortable lead, and the team would come back and beat us. Like we blew so many leads that year. You could
mhm.
just tell the team was not the same, and the team hasn't been the same since. Russell Wilson's been a really because at the time, I mean, he was just pretty much a game manager and he was really calm in the pocket, and he still made good plays and stuff like that. Whenever we went to the Super Bowl and won our first one, and then went to the second one. But after that, he like became like an elite quarterback, and then
Mhm.
Doug Baldwin was getting 1,000 receiving yards a year. Like there were improvements in some spots on the team, but just the whole vibe of the team just was not the same after that. Because I mean,
Yeah.
we were like cocky, we were in everyone's face, we were aggressive, and after that,
Mhm.
it was not that way anymore.
Yeah, you're totally right. I definitely felt like they were being a lot more cocky, and obviously it's died down a lot, especially this last
Hmm.
season. Oh my gosh, it really hurts seeing what happened just this last season for
Yeah.
Seattle. Russell Wilson though, I will say this: part of me feels like he's getting a little washed up because he's getting older, and he's not going to be as I don't know fast as he used to be
Hmm.
in some ways because of course you can't rely on Seattle's offensive line to help block for him but
Never been able to.
yeah, but I will say this even though Russell Wilson got hurt this season, the first time he's ever been hurt in the NFL, and
Enough to miss a game. Yeah.
yeah, and when he came back, at first he had he didn't have like super great throws, but like towards like the last two games, I'd say I was pretty impressed, and I feel like this next season he's gonna really take himself seriously and like be outstanding, because I think he said he wants to win 3 more Super Bowls with Seattle or something.
Yeah.
But yes, I think
Yeah.
he's out for blood this next season. I will admit he did also jinx us by naming his son Win.
Yeah.
So I
That
mean,
was not good.
I don't. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
like yeah, I don't think Russ is washed up at all. I mean, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and I'm so glad he's on the team, and I hope he stays on the team, whatever it takes. But yeah, I mean, it was weird because because he broke his finger against the Rams, and then he was supposed to be out for a certain amount of weeks, and then he came back like a couple weeks early because his recovery was so immaculate, and then he doesn't do well for those couple games, and then the game like whenever he was like supposed to come back. uh he started doing well again. So like if he would have just waited in the timetable that the doctor gave him and came back, maybe he wouldn't have had any of those bad games.
Yeah, okay, that's a good point.
Yeah. But then again, I mean, we had Geno Smith under center. He's great at coin flips, at calling coin tosses, but other than that, not as a quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, because didn't it like was it like the game was kind of like on the line at the end? I can't remember who it was against, but it was like 2 games in a row where he like
Saints.
fumbled the ball at the he fumbled it and there was a turnover or something. Ah,
Yeah,
God.
that's the thing too. I mean, like, I mean, as a backup, I think. I mean, he's fine. I just don't want him starting a bunch of games, you know. But
Yeah.
like, I remember when he got drafted out of West Virginia. I think it was his last game with the Jets. 'Cause I remember he got in a fight with somebody in the locker room, and someone punched him and broke his jaw. Then after that, he was out for like a whole year. Then I think after that, he went to a different team, maybe the Giants. Can't remember. Anyways, uh, yeah. But before that, I mean, the last game I remember him in, he was against the Jets. I think it was in 2014. And then he threw for no, it was against the Patriots. Sorry, he was playing for the Jets, and he threw for like 400 something yards. Pretty sure they lost because it was against Tom Brady, but I remember he had like a good game.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He did play for the Jets, huh?
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
it's actually funny. I love how we totally went off topic of the Super Bowl. This last Super Bowl, we started talking about a lot more Seattle.
I
Um,
know. They still hurt, dude. It's like that kind of thing you're never gonna forget
I
about. Like we're
know.
gonna tell our kids about that Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Both of them.
and I'm sure like Cincinnati might feel the same way right now because it's pretty fresh. But yeah, I would say like going back to Super Bowl 56 that. Felt like both teams were deserving to win, and the thing, I mean, I kind of even knew, and I talked about it, I think, in a previous episode of our podcast, that I felt like the Rams just had more talent. I mean, they did have more talent, and I feel like that's totally going to be a huge game changer. And I think when it came down to it, it definitely was. But I will admit, I was impressed with Jamar Chase. I thought he did a great job that game. I don't think he gets enough credit. I know everyone was talking about Joe Mixon, but I think Jamar Chase did a fantastic job, and I was pretty impressed with him. And so.
What? Yeah. What'd you think about that no call on that like 75-yard touchdown? No, with T. Higgins whenever he like face masked Jalen Rain.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
Was a flag.
there definitely was like a face mask there, but like if like I kind of think of it the perspective where the ref is at, because he's on the opposite end of it happening, and so he's not gonna be able to see it from that angle. But also when you look at it from real time, you definitely don't really notice it. Like it happens so quickly, and so I think it's fair to say that. There shouldn't have been a penalty called on it. I mean, I hate diving into shit like this because you can't change it. You can't. Like, I mean, would it change the outcome of the game? Maybe.
Yeah, I
But
mean, like there are Bengals fans who are complaining about Aaron Donald being offsides.
oh, okay,
But
I
I was
saw
like,
that.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. But the thing is, I mean, like, sure, but you got away with a blatant face mask on a 75-yard touchdown
yeah,
to start the second half.
exactly. But okay,
It goes both ways.
I was gonna ask you about that whole offsides thing. So, how does it work exactly? Is it any part of your body that's past the ball, not just your hand? So it could be your head too.
I don't think it's just your head. I think if you just step offsides, if you step over the line of scrimmage,
So
it's just
like,
that's
because
offsides.
when I
I
saw
don't know.
the image, like it looked like his hand was. It didn't seem like it was that far ahead.
Mhm.
I don't know. It didn't. It seemed reasonable.
Yeah, that's why the refs didn't call it. I mean, it was close, but I mean, yeah, I
But I
mean, I
but
get why the fans are upset, but at the same time, it's they
but
didn't get robbed of that game. The refs didn't screw them over. It wasn't that
but
kind of thing. Aaron Donald made a good play.
But the thing I was going to say is that when you look at the image, I mean, it could also be the camera angle too, but like it
Mhm.
looked like his head it looked like it clearly was past the line. So I wonder, so I don't know if it's any body part or if it's your hand that when you're getting in your down position. I don't know. I don't know. I wonder how the rules work on that. Because I was a little confused because I'm like, okay, this doesn't seem like he's really that offsides. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And you got to remember that this game was pretty clean for the most part. Like there was that
Yeah,
one
it
time
was.
where the Rams, I think, were in the end zone and they started getting a lot of those penalties that favored for them. So I don't know. That could be debatable too, I suppose. But
Mhm.
that was the only time of the game where I think calls could have been pretty skeptical. What was it, holding or pass interference? I can't remember all the calls they had there, but for the most part, it was a pretty clean game. Like there was
Yeah.
not a lot of penalties, and I
Mm-mm.
was a little surprised because I guess maybe I'm just used to watching the Seahawks, but
Yeah.
I felt like there should have been a lot of penalties because I'm so used to it.
Yeah.
But I liked how clean the game was.
Yeah, me too.
Um,
Me too. Yeah, it was a bummer seeing Cincy lose. I was rooting for the Bengals. I feel, I mean, it was already an achievement for them whenever they got to the playoffs and won the wild card game because that was their first playoff game in 31 years. And then they win the divisional round, win the AFC Championship, and they're so close to getting a Super Bowl and they lose. Like that's
yeah.
gotta suck, and it's just, but Bengals fans have a lot to look forward to in the future. They have a
hmm
really good team and their team's super young. It's not going to be easy getting back to the Super Bowl, but they definitely have all the talent in the world to do so.
And one of the reasons what might have happened with the Bengals this season is that maybe they just haven't been super great for so long that all of a sudden the coaches and the whole team were able to figure out a good strategy to win games, and I think
Mhm.
it took a while for people to catch on, and so I think I think Bengals fans definitely have a lot to look forward to in the future. I think
Mhm.
the Bengals have a chance of being a really good competitor after this season. I mean, clearly they should proven themselves this season. I think they're able to hold their ground, and I wonder like how that's going to work with a lot of other teams. Like I really hope the Bills do good. Hopefully they make it all the
Me,
way. That would be really
me
cool.
too. This
Kansas
win is
City
so bad.
is also a pretty good team as well, but
Oh
I
yeah,
mean the
also
Bengals
like
beat
the
them,
AFC Championship.
so
Yeah,
but like AFC side of things, I guess is what I'm mostly thinking of, and so I don't know. Yeah, I mean overall great game. Both teams were deserving of the like the Super Bowl trophy, but
hmm
obviously it came down to the Rams, and of course we can't forget about the halftime show. Like
hmm
that halftime show was
great.
good, but I will say this. I didn't feel like it was the best because when I went on Twitter, everybody I was following was like saying how that was the best Super Bowl they've ever seen. And I was like, really? Like, I mean, it's not that I didn't like it. Here's one thing that really threw me off, though. And maybe this is the reason why I didn't like it as much. The one thing that really threw me off was the fact that I feel like in a lot of the.
Eminem kneeled. Is that what it is?
No,
You're offended by
listen,
that?
listen. We can get into that later, but no, is that there was a lot of light. It wasn't dark because when I think of Super Bowl halftime shows, I think of it being dark or like an enclosed stadium, so the only lights are coming from the performance itself. And in that game, they have an open roof, and it was like and there was still light out, and so I felt like that was a really weird vibe for me to watch it compared to previous Super Bowl halftime shows.
Yeah,
I don't
could
know.
be that. And I feel like it was. I mean, it was in the middle. I mean, it was at 3:30, and it was on the West Coast. I guess I can't remember if it was also at 3:30 on the East Coast last year. But I just remember whenever with the weekend's performance, I remember it being night out. I think that was why. I mean, it was lit. The performance was lit, like
hmm
literally and figuratively. But it was late. It was later at night, so maybe that's why it looked darker. Do you?
Yeah, that could have been it. Well, I think the Super Bowl always plays at the same time because what was it, like 5:20 it started.
Started at 3:30 here this year.
Oh no, 3:30. My bad. I'm thinking of like normal like prime time showings,
Oh,
but
yeah.
yeah, no, you're right. 3:20 is usually I think when it starts, and that's why when we see it happen like over on the east side of the states that it's darker.
Hmm.
So I think yeah, I think it always starts at 3:30. So maybe that's
I couldn't realize
interesting.
it.
So where's the Super Bowl going to be next year?
No idea. You know what's funny is that there was never a Super Bowl team that got to play in their home stadium until last year whenever Tampa Bay did it.
Yep.
And then it's happened 2 years in a row now
Yep.
because the Rams got to play in their home. It didn't happen for 54 years and then
Yeah,
55, 56, two in a row. It's home team.
yeah, I remember that. I totally, yeah, I was totally aware of that. That's crazy to think of, and that's why I jokingly say that the NFL is rigged right now, because that happened. Did you ever see? I don't know if you follow like NFL memes on like any social media stuff, but I don't know if the NFL actually. I don't know if they actually posted this as a joke or if just someone else made it as a joke, but it was like an official statement from the NFL, and it said something about how like it says something about how to ensure that no more Super Bowl no teams will be able to have their home field advantage for the Super Bowl is by saying that all future Super Bowls the it's going to take place in Dallas Stadium, the AT&T Stadium.
That'd be funny.
I thought that was really fun. I thought that was really good. But yeah, like Eminem, the artist they had for the Super Bowl halftime show was very iconic, especially for the state of California. And except Eminem is actually not from California though. But
Detroit.
all those other artists I think are. So
Yeah, 'cause I
and
mean they had Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Kendrick, Eminem, Mary J. Blige,
50
uh,
Cent.
50 Cent appeared. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's right.
Yeah, it's funny too because I like seeing the memes that. Did you ever see the meme where it was like, the inflation has really been hard for 50 Cent or something like that?
No, I haven't seen that.
But I didn't even I like when I first saw 50 Cent pop up on screen, I instantly knew it was him. Even
Yeah.
though I know it looks like he's gained weight, but like honestly, I was still able to recognize him. But
Do you remember that meme of like that blonde kid in class and he's like holding in a cough and you can see all the veins on his face?
yes, yeah, I know.
There is this meme I saw and it was him. It was that picture but upside down. It was like 50 Cent waiting for his cue.
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, oh yeah, I thought that was pretty good for when it came to memes. And then, I saw a TikTok I think earlier today, and he's like, he's like because it's about Eminem how he kneeled, and he's like, I don't know why everyone's like so surprised that Eminem kneeled. He literally just said that his knees are weak.
Yeah, all they had to do was tell the real Slim Shady to please stand up.
Dude, yes, I was talking to Max about that, and Max was saying that he really wished that they would have said that, or at least or done, yeah, do the real Slim Shady. That would have been really cool if they did. He said that if they did that, it would have been his favorite halftime show.
Really?
Yeah, but yeah, I agree. I was hoping they would do that too. But it's so funny because. Anytime like an artist started singing or rapping, my dad doesn't know anybody, and so like who started off, it was like Dr. Dre, or no, he knows who Snoop Dogg is, but like Dr. Dre was like doing his thing, and so the camera's showing him, and my dad's like, so that's Eminem, and we're like, no, that's my mom and I are like, no, that's Dr. Dre, and then like no, and then like who came up next? I
Mary
think
J. Blige, I'm pretty sure.
well, that one he probably could figure it out easily, but I think it
Oh,
was.
that's Eminem.
And then 50 Cent comes up, and then he's like, that's Kendrick Lamar. And it's like, no, that's 50 Cent. I don't know, like, and then I think when Eminem popped up, he's like, and that's Dr. Dre or something. I could be wrong.
That's funny.
But yeah, he didn't know any of those artists, which I thought was funny. But my mom did. My mom knew who they were. I don't think she knew who 50 Cent was or Kendrick Lamar. I actually thought Kendrick Lamar was my favorite performer by far.
Yeah, he was my favorite performer as well.
I really enjoyed his. But yeah, I think those artists are definitely more iconic for people our age and I guess millennials in
That's the
general.
people that grew up in the 90s. Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I really did enjoy it, and I think the one thing about this Super Bowl halftime was that I actually knew the songs because normally that's an artist that I don't really know all their songs. So I thought it was really cool, like listening to it. But I don't know, was the audio weird for you, like listening on your TV? Like,
It was fine for me, at least I remember. But yeah, I don't remember having any problems with it.
I don't know. I heard. I think yeah, it was Max and I. We were saying that we thought it was like it didn't sound very loud, but I mean, it's a live performance that's getting recorded, so I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know. What did you think of the weekend one? I actually didn't watch the weekend's halftime show.
I like it a lot. I'm a big fan of The Weeknd. I thought After Hours was is his best album,
Mm.
and I got that one on vinyl. But yeah, no, I honestly liked it. It was really good. I mean, he's always had a really good voice live. Like I had tickets to go watch him in like late 2020, and then the pandemic hit, and it got postponed to like 2020.
Oh
It got
dang.
postponed to this year, and I'm pretty sure all the concerts this year got canceled, so it's postponed to another year or so.
Right.
But he released on FM, so he released another album during all that postponement time. So now we're gonna listen to that album too, which will be cool. But um, yeah, no, I liked it. I thought it was really good. I was happy with the performance. I thought he killed it. You know, all the I like the song choice. He was able to go back to his House of Balloons album. He played that song. That was really cool. He got Starboy in there, obviously Blinding Lights. Yeah, no, yeah, he had, I like this song selection that he did, and I like the whole performance itself. I thought he killed it.
It's funny because normally like the memes you see within a Super Bowl halftime show, it usually like fades out and you never really see them again. But like with the weekends, I still see memes of him doing like they try to like make it look like the Joker or
Mhm.
something, like,
Yeah.
right?
Is it the one where he's like running through the mirrored walls or
Yeah,
whatever?
yeah, and
Is
it's
that
trying
one?
to have the Joker talk in the background or
Yeah.
something. I still see that one to this day.
Yeah.
But the weekend is actually an artist that I've been trying to listen to more. I mean, I mean, I feel kind of guilty for saying this because I feel like a lot of people are the same way. Oh my God, what's the song? That's so stupid. Blinding Lights.
Yeah.
That song pretty much caught my attention. And what's kind of interesting, like I've heard definitely a lot of his songs prior. I just didn't know it was The Weeknd who made it.
Mhm.
Like for example, like I Can't Feel My Face When I'm With You.
That came out our junior year.
Yeah, I remember that song pretty well.
The
Um,
Hills.
the Hills, yep. And so I started listening to a lot more of his songs and like After Hours, like that. I think that it was it the actual song After Hours that I really liked.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
like 6 minutes long. It's a long song, but
yeah, it's
yeah,
a
the
long
title
one.
track is one of my
I
favorites.
actually liked that song. I think it was pretty
Yeah, one
underrated.
of my favorites. Yeah, yeah, because like the first single for that album was Heartless, and then like 2 days later, Blinding Lights came out, and
Hmm.
I heard it the day it came out, and I thought it was really really good. And then he released After Hours, the title track. He released that as a single, and then after that, he released the actual album.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So I started listening to more of his, and then I knew he just released some more songs that I'm trying to get through. I don't know. I think I keep falling
On the
asleep
Don
on.
FM album.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
one.
that album's cool because he had Jim Carrey narrate the beginning and end of the album.
Oh, he does he? Oh, huh.
Yeah, Phantom Regret. It's like a poem that Jim Carrey made. And that's the last track of the album, and it's
Oh,
just him
okay.
like
Because
reciting a
I
poem.
haven't
It's
got
really
through all the
cool.
songs yet. I keep like falling because I always do it at night when I'm going to bed, and
Mhm.
I always fall asleep. So,
Yeah,
mm.
yeah, Gasoline, Sacrifice. Is there someone else? Best Friends. Uh, it's another song too. But yeah, then Phantom Regret. I like that album quite a bit. I wasn't sure how I felt about it at first, but the more I listened to it, it really, really grew on me. I like it a lot.
Yeah, another artist that I actually started listening to was oh, I can't think of his name. Jack Harlow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while. Like, I mean, obviously he's featured in a lot of songs. That's kind of how I knew him. And I started listening to some of his music, and I think my favorite song might be Automatic. That might be my
Yeah.
favorite song.
Hmm.
But it's kind of funny because you mentioned Best Friends, and he has like that song. Like, what's it called? Like, is it just called Best Friends? I think it's just called Best Friends.
Yeah, by
But
the weekend.
no. Jack Harlow. The is it girls' best friends or something like
Already best friends.
already best friends? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that was on his last album.
There was another song that I really liked from him too.
I liked
Uh,
Way Out, Face in My City. Um, like what else? Route 66.
I'm getting my phone out.
Um, I like those. Oh shoot, I like there's some stuff as older stuff too. I like Sundown a lot. Uh, Oh my gosh, there's another song that he has. I gotta look it up.
What's poppin'?
Oh yeah, that's a
Yeah, that's a
popular
pop part.
song.
I thought I had another one on here. Oh, yeah. I don't. Oh, okay. I'm looking at my
Dark Knight. That was another song
Oh
he
yeah,
said I
that
like.
was a good one. Yeah, yeah. Um. Okay, yeah. I thought I had another because I'm looking at my my playlist of all my favorite songs, and I don't know. Okay, so yeah, the automatic What's Poppin' and Already Best Friends. I have that on my like my that playlist. Okay, so
Mhm.
but I did download like all his other songs too. So sometimes if I just want to listen to him, I'll do that.
Mhm.
Did you ever like listening to Logic?
I did when Under Pressure came out. I think that album's really good.
Mm-hmm.
But, the more I listened to him, like I just felt like he got cringy after a while. And I remember when Everybody came out and he had that like Suicide Hotline track, that song was blowing up. I thought that was really cool. And the album came out and I thought it was underwhelming. And ever since then, like he'll release some bangers here and there that I'll like. But overall, like whenever he releases something, I don't really get excited. I just listen to it and
Uh,
hope it's good. But like a lot of the times, he had like "See You Space Cowboy" that was on Bobby Tarantino 3. The beat to that's super hard.
mm-hmm.
But other than that, like I didn't really like that album. Like it's he has some songs here and there, like I said, that I think are good. But I can't get into his stuff like I did with the whole Under Pressure album. I really liked that album.
Yeah, Under Pressure definitely was a really good album, but like the one album he put out, it was called. I actually just accidentally started playing one of his songs on my phone. Oh shoot, what's the album called? I think I have it saved. Where's it at?
What's what's on the cover?
It's the. It was his. It was the album he released saying that was his last one.
Oh, No Pressure.
No Pressure. Yeah.
I
Um,
liked Perfect on that album.
Perfect's good. My favorite songs actually Hit My Line.
Yeah.
I like that song a lot.
I
But
liked Soul Food too, because I really like Soul Food on Under
oh
Pressure.
yeah, that's right. And yeah, I didn't like all the songs in that album. I think he did release more music though, didn't he?
Mhm. Yeah,
Um,
No Pressure is definitely one of his better albums. Like I liked that album. I didn't love it, but I liked some of the tracks. I like Perfect quite a bit. Yeah, and Soul Food 2, those are my two favorites. And then he released Bobby Tarantino 3. And I think that had Vaccine on there. Vaccine was a banger. I like that song. That song was fine. Yeah, and See You Space Cowboy. I don't love the whole song. I just love the beat. The beat's super hard.
mhm.
Other than that, I didn't really like that album.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I think last night I was listening to Logic because I hadn't listened to him in a long time, and I've been kind of used to listening to Jack Harlow, and I realized like how different the beats are because when I think of like kind of modern day hip hop rap, like I kind of feel like in a way they use kind of the same sort of instruments for their beats or whatever, and
Mhm.
so uh but like then when I jumped from Jack Harlow to Logic, I realized okay, they're not. It's not really the same instruments. It's like I mean, their music's kind of slightly different, and
Mhm.
but still though, I mean, it was yeah. I don't know. It's just
Dude,
something
you
that kind of
gotta
made me go.
listen to more Travis Scott. He's got the sickest beats.
Oh no, I listen to him sometimes. I haven't listened to him in a while. I listened to him like a year ago from today is when I actually started listening to him, and I was listening to oh shit, what's the name of the album? I think it's his most popular one actually.
Astroworld?
What's it called?
Astroworld? The one
Yeah,
with Sicko Mode
Astroworld.
on it?
Yeah, yeah, Astroworld. Um, but yeah, Sicko Mode was good. It's I really want to like his the original Goosebumps song, not the
Hmm.
remixed.
Yeah.
I really want to say I like it. It's definitely not bad, but for some reason the remix just is just so much better. I feel like maybe because it's
Really?
just maybe because it's
That's opposite for
consistent,
me.
maybe because it's
Yeah.
just consistent with the beats and stuff. But
Hmm.
maybe it's more memorable for me. I don't know what it is. I mean, the original Goosebumps still isn't bad either. But
Yeah, Birds in the Trap. Yeah, that's the album that was off of. Coordinates on that album, and that song has a super sick beat. The outro, I listen like the lyrics are meh. Like that's the thing about Travis Scott. Like his pen game isn't gonna blow you away, but
mhm.
it's just you listen to it. Like the beats are just so good. He's like that Rodeo, like Astroworld, start to finish is my favorite album of his. But I think Rodeo is his best album because that album came out in 2015, and it's just it revolutionized psychedelic trap. Like there hasn't like that album at the time, like, nothing else sounded like that. And like I have talked about that before on another episode. Like Dirty Sprite 2, ASAP Rocky, like they were like in that same they're like heading in that same direction, but just Rodeo's just in a league of its own. Like the album, it's a classic in my book. I feel like it has to be considered one. I feel like it's gonna be called more. It's gonna be more so considered one in the next few years. But no, that album is just so good. Maria, I'm drunk, wasted. Like
Oh yeah,
those
wasted.
beats are just haunting. Like it's like they sound yeah, like I feel like haunting's the best way to put it. It's like a haunting sounding beat and it's got 808 just bumping in it. It just sounds so sick. And like an Antidote, that was the big song off that album. I remember that was when I first heard Travis Scott because Antidote's the song that's like, "Don't you open up that window," and that was all
Hmm.
over Vine. And then I remember like listening to that album, and then like 90210. That's my favorite Travis Scott song. That song is so fucking good. You'll have to listen to that song. It's like 5 minutes. Like, a lot of songs on that album are like 5+ minutes long. Some of them have beat switches and stuff like that. Like Sicko Mode was not Travis Scott's first song with a beat switch in it. Like everyone knows that song for the beat switches, and all the beats in it are sick. I mean, he's been doing that on his songs for years, even before Rodeo. It's just no, he's always had sick beats. But yeah, Rodeo is my favorite album of his. But when it comes to start to finish, replay value, it's got to be Astroworld. Astro
Hmm.
Thunder is one of my favorite songs ever. That you'll have to listen to Astro Thunder, dude. Like that song, it's like therapy for me. It's just so soothing. It's just there's so many layers. There's so many different sounds going on. Like you could tell that he's like a he tries so hard to perfect his beats.
Hmm.
He's a perfectionist when it comes to those beats and producing them. Astro Thunder just sounds so fucking good. That song is so good. That song Stargazing, the beat switch, and that song sick. Coffee Bean, the outro to 5% Tent. Uh, Carousel. You got Frank Ocean on there. Frank Ocean's also one of my favorite artists. Stop Trying to Be God. He got Kid Cudi's
Oh
hums in
yeah,
that song.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the hums. Kid Cudi's him and Travis are like my favorite artists. He got Kid Cudi's hums in there, and he got Stevie Wonder to play harmonica in the
Oh
background.
really? I didn't
And
know
then yeah,
that.
yeah, that's Stevie Wonder. Yeah, yeah, and then yeah, then James Blake performs the outro, and that's beautiful too. And then Can't Say, that song got Don Tolliver, who's on his Cactus Jack music label. And then the guitar at the beginning of that, John Mayer plays that. And then
Hmm.
John Mayer and Thundercat, if I remember right, I think they helped produce the song Astro Thunder. And then Tame Impala, who he has that song "The Less I Know the Better." If you hear the bass line at the beginning, I bet you'll recognize it on memes and stuff like that. But he has a bunch of other good songs, and then he helped produce the song "Skeletons."